All right, so this is 9B, which is mole conversions. Mole conversions are how you go from grams of something to moles of something, or from moles of something back to grams of something. We have scales in our lab. We don't have magic mole calculators. So mole conversions, there's a formula on the back of your reference table called mole calculations. It's number of moles equals given mass over the gram formula mass. GFM is gram formula mass. So we just taught that if you aren't sure how to calculate a gram formula mass, that's video 9A for molar mass and how to calculate that. So a question might say, how many moles is 88 grams of CO2? Now, what I have here is a question. So the given mass is based on the question, which is this, I guess that highlighter doesn't work quite as well as I want it to, is that 88. Okay, so that's what goes on top of my, there we go. That's what goes on top of my formula here. So my given mass is 88. So I have 88 grams. And I want to know how many moles. So moles would be my X. It's what I'm looking for. Gram formula mass is the mass of carbon dioxide according to my periodic table. So carbon weighs 12 and oxygen weighs 16, but there's 2 of them, so it's 44 total. Okay, so if 1 mole weighs 44, but I have 88 grams, the number of moles I have is 2. Okay, now, that's nice. Okay, that's a highlighter. All right, so you could also go the other way. So another question might be, how many grams is 0.1 moles of NaOH? Okay, so now the question has given me moles and it didn't give me grams. So there's no given mass. The given mass is what I'm looking for. So that's X on the top, and the 0.1 moles goes right here. Now, sodium hydroxide, the gram formula mass, since I have a formula of it, I can always find its gram formula mass according to my periodic table, is 23 for sodium plus 16 plus 1, which gives me 40. Okay, now in this case, I would just cross multiply, and I would get that 0.1 moles is 4. So I would have 4 grams is 0.1 moles of sodium hydroxide. Okay, doesn't matter what your formula is. If you're given moles, you're solving for grams, you would just use that formula. Okay, the last type of question that they might ask you, okay, I'm just going to move that up there. That's a little weird, but it'll work, is something along the lines of this, like how many moles of oxygen atoms are in 1 mole of Al2O3. So this question's a little bit different because it doesn't talk about grams at all. It says how many moles of oxygen atoms are in 1 mole of aluminum oxide. Now, it's got moles and it's got moles. I want to know how many moles of oxygen atoms are in 1 mole of aluminum oxide. So I'm not going to use that same formula. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at my formula here. And I see that I have 2 aluminums and 3 oxygens for each 1 aluminum oxide. So the answer to this is just 3. Okay? I have 3 moles of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of Al2O3. Okay? That would be like if I had a dozen Al2O3s, I'd have 3 dozen O's. Okay? It's the same idea. When you think about a mole, you can think about it like a dozen.